At this point, you know all about signing into your computer. When you turn on your computer, you'll land at the sign in screen where you can click and then you'll type in your password or the PIN code for your user account. And that will sign you into your account so you can start working. But your computer might have the ability for you to sign in with a fingerprint, a face scan, or some other method. Also, it's important to know how to change your password or your PIN if you need to. So now that I'm signed in, we can see those options. I want to go to Settings, so I'll go to the Start menu, click the gear button to go to Settings, and we need to go to the Accounts category. Then on the sidebar on the left, we'll choose Sign-in Options, where you can see a list of all of the options that Windows has for you to sign in. You can see that some of these options are not available if your computer does not have the hardware to support it. Let's start with the password. That's available on all computers, and it's always the main way to sign in. And this is where you go if you ever need to change your password. If you ever suspect that somebody else might know your password, it's good to come here and change your password as soon as you can. Just click here, then click that Change button, and then follow the prompts that it gives you. Now keep in mind, if you sign into Windows with a Microsoft Online account, this process will actually change that online account password. You will need that new password anytime you sign into Microsoft Online services with that account. All right, let's look at some of these other options. You'll see several of them are labeled with Windows Hello, which is a feature that offers some alternative ways to sign in. Now, you've probably seen the PIN code because most Windows computers require you to set up a PIN during the initial setup. Now, I intentionally turned this off so I can show you how to set up a PIN. And the process is going to be similar for a lot of these Windows Hello features. Just choose the option, then choose Add, and follow the prompts that you get. I'll click Next here. Now, in most cases, it will need to verify your identity, so it will prompt you for your password. Because I've gone through this process recently on this computer, it's not prompting me. It just takes me straight here. But now I need to set up my PIN code. Usually I use just a regular 4-digit number. You can use a longer number if you want, or if you enable this checkbox here, you can also include letters or symbols in your PIN. But for now, I'm just going to stick with a regular 4-digit PIN, then click OK. And now that's all set. I can always come back here to change that PIN or remove it completely. So now I have the option to use the PIN to sign into my computer instead of my password. But the PIN does not replace or disable the password. And the same goes if you set up any of these other sign-in options listed here. Your password is always there. You can always sign in with your password. These are all just extra options on top to make the sign-in process quicker or easier. Now, if you have a computer with a fingerprint scanner or face recognition camera, you might want to set up one of those options as well. Just follow the prompts to get those set up. I'm just going to stick with the password and the PIN, and I want to see what happens when I sign out of the computer. So I'll go to the Start menu, choose the Account button here, and choose Sign Out. And of course, we end up back here at this sign-in screen. It's the same as if you restarted the computer or if you just turned it on. So naturally, I'll click on this screen, and now it's prompting me to sign in with my PIN code. It says PIN here in this field. If you have face recognition or the fingerprint scanner, it may prompt you for that. If you can't or don't want to use this sign-in method, you can always click here where it says Sign-in Options. And depending on which options you have set up, you can choose the one that you want. I have the option to switch between the PIN code or my standard password, so I can decide how I want to sign in. So if I don't remember my PIN code, I can just put in my password instead and sign in that way. So every user account will have a password. So at the minimum, you need to remember your password. And you need to be able to change it if you ever think that somebody might have gotten your password. The PIN code, face recognition, and fingerprint scanner are all additional options that you can set up if you want.